Good morning. Good morning. How are you? As you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. Good morning. Good morning. Give me just a moment while I get everything activated. Oh, where are we? Here we go. All right. I think we are live everywhere. Let me pull this up on my phone and make sure that it is showing. All right. One second. Sorry, I've got some allergy action going on and I had to cough and I wanted to make sure I wasn't doing it in your ear. Wrong one. There we go. All right. So good morning. Good morning. And as I said, as you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. And let me grab my notes because I had a couple of things I wanted to make sure that I talked about with you guys. So this morning, as I was doing the things, listening to some podcasts, doing my walking and everything, the thought came to me that success isn't about luck. It's about being open to changing and taking inspired action. I'm going to break that down just a little bit, but the thing is that I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I used to wish that somebody would come in and rescue me. And I used to wish that I could just win the lottery, or I would just, by happenstance, some miracle would just befall me and all my troubles would go away. And the thing is that's not how this works, right? It's like, I think I can't remember if it's Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, one of them. One of the sayings that they used to say all the time was quit waiting for your ship to come in, because that used to be the catchphrase. I'm waiting for my ship to come in. But instead of waiting for your ship to come in, you swim out and greet it. And so there's an action involved. And instead of, I think that, a lot of the new age stuff, a lot of the law of attraction stuff, it implies that you just sit back and you daydream and you think about what you want, and then you don't have to do anything. And that could be true for some people, but nobody I know. And technically, it didn't just fall out of the sky. What happens is you get some inspiration to do something, right? So there have been moments that I wanted things to be different, but I wasn't open to doing things differently, right? And so you can't solve something or change something unless you change, right? Let me look and see where we're at over here. Good morning on Instagram. Thank you for being here. So the so the biggest thing is to be open for new opportunities, to be open to change, being open to move in a different way. And like I had a conversation, I had Mikkel on as a guest expert yesterday, not Mikkel. Yeah, Mikkel. All of a sudden her name went right out of my head. And the first time I had her on my podcast, she was really doing a lot with human design, and she still is, but our whole podcast was about human design, and she did my human design reading, or whatever the heck you call it. And one of the things that I had been plagued with my whole life was people telling me how I never finish things. And it started with my grandmother, my dad's mom, telling me when he said I was going to go to college, she said, I don't know why, she'll never finish. Well, I didn't. Um, I started so many things that I didn't finish. And one of the things that Mikkel helped me see was that that's just part of who I am. It's not that I don't finish things, it's that I have this innate ability to see when things aren't working, because you can't, I mean, sometimes people can stay in something and just kind of, what is the old saying, beat a dead horse. It's like you keep trying to make it better, and you just keep doing the same thing. But I have this innate ability that is a gift, which I thought was a curse for so long, that if things aren't working, I can evaluate whether or not it's something I need to dig into, or if it's something I need to just release and go and do something else and then come back later. And so being open to change is being open to making a different decision. Maybe it is like you want to do something with your business and you're going down this path of this is exactly what I'm doing. And it doesn't seem to be creating the effect that you're wanting. You can evaluate, hey, is it because I'm afraid that I'm wanting to change? Or is it that there's an opportunity over here that I'm not seeing? And so be open to change, right? And then one other thing that it's taking inspired action, right? The thing is a lot of times we're not taking inspired action. We're just doing busy work. And, my friend Christine and I, we just started a new membership thing, and it's called the Hustle and Flow. And it came from this exact thing, that she and I started recognizing that there were a lot of times we were just doing busy work and we weren't really doing things that would move things, right? So there's a difference between spinning in circles and moving with intention. And so what we did was we started working together, where we would dedicate an hour to just working together independently at the same time, so that we could help each other if we needed it. And it was like it gave us this focus, this laser focus, because one of the things that you've probably heard 1,000 times, but it's like the magnifying glass outside. So if you've got a piece of paper laying on the ground and the sun shining on it, nothing happens. But you take that magnifying glass and let the sun go through it, and it'll actually make that piece of paper start to burn, because it's got this laser focus on it, right? And so there are times that we are so scattered with no focus. And so one thing, you have to be clear on what you're looking for, what you're wanting to create, right? And then you get focused, and then those inspired actions will come up. But our hustle and flow, it's where you when you become a member, and it's only $7 a month, but we spend an hour together where we work 20 minutes independently. We set an intention, what we're going to work on, and then we work on it. And then we come together, we talk, what did you do? What did you need help with? And then we do another 20 minutes. But the cool thing about it is we do this together. And then if somebody needs help, we can do some breakout rooms where people can help one another, or we can step in and help someone. But the amount of stuff you can get done in that hour, because it's laser focused, is amazing. So I've been getting so much more done in my life, as far as my business goes, since we've started doing this. So I'll be putting a link in the description or in the comments if you want to check it out. But right now it's every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then we're about to add another one like at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so that people that work during the day and have these businesses that they're working on after work, that they would have time to come and do that too. So we're about to open that up too. So what I'd like to know is what's one step that you feel drawn to take today? Just thinking about this, inspired action versus being busy. Because inspired action is energy aligned. It moves you even when it's scary. It feels like you know that you're at the edge of your comfort zone, but to not move feels worse than moving forward. And that's a beautiful place to be, right? And then, excuse me, the thing is that we want to release luck from, hold on one second. Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on. Sorry, I could feel that cough coming. But let me go ahead and share the affirmation before I keep going. Give me a second. And then you'll know where I'm coming from as I'm talking about all this, because I thought, wait a minute, I haven't even shared it. All right, so our affirmation for today is success isn't luck. It's me being open to change and brave enough to take inspired action. I create momentum by showing up with intention. And like I said, when we get together for the hustle and the flow, that hour workspace, the first thing we do is each person sets an intention for what they want to accomplish in that first 20 minutes. So like on Monday when we were doing that, before we set the timer, my intention was I had just created a meditation audio. And so I was working on getting it completed because I go in and add music and add a video that has like different sounds that come from it and everything's to finish it out. Right. And so I had that 20 minutes. I was able to get it all the way to the end of fixing it into what I wanted it to be. And I downloaded as soon as Christine's the time keeper. And so I heard her say, time. So I said, wait a minute. And I had to hit download. And so I got so much accomplished in that 20 minutes. Now, on my own, I might have stopped and went and done something and everything. So it was definitely laser focused, but it was inspired action. It felt so good, right? So I create momentum by showing up with intention. So it's setting that intention for what you want to accomplish, what you want to help if you're a coach, what you're wanting to help your clients accomplish. It's setting that intention, right? There's so much that you can create by doing that. So we're going to release the luck myth. It's not luck. It's our gifts and our talents and our movement, right? Because success is not for the lucky chosen few. It's for the consistent, the open, the action takers. Because success is built. It's not just handed out randomly, right? And it's interesting because I was listening, hold on, where am I? I was listening to a YouTube this morning, and it's a story that I'm familiar with, but couldn't quote it, couldn't tell you exactly what verse it's in. I think it's in Matthew. I'm not sure. So if you know, definitely say so in the comments. But it's the talents story about the merchant who is going away, and he leaves his 3 servants with talents to expand. I don't remember what he says, but they are stewards of, like, one gets 5, one gets 2, I think, or 3, and one gets 1. And it's what they do with those that when the master comes back. And it's an amazing, amazing story about not squandering your talents, right? And I know in the Bible, talents was a form of money. It was what this money was called. But I don't know that that's an accident, that it's also the name for what we have within us, the gifts, the talents that God gave us, right? And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing the gifts and talents that we have, taking inspired action, ready for change, and willing to step on the edge, if not completely over our comfort zone. And so you can create so much by doing that, right? Because one thing I say all the time is the only constant in life is change. So by not doing anything, you're still changing. You're just sliding backwards and going to the wayside, right? So it's time to step up and honor the fact that success isn't luck. It's you being open to change and brave enough to take inspired action. Now, where does the bravery come from? From doing, right? Because if you've ever thought about something that you wanted to do and you just were so, I don't know if I'll ever figure it out. But when you start moving forward, suddenly it's like, wow, this is a lot easier than I thought. And so it's taking a step creates amazing things. One of the things that when I was in health coaching school, life coaching school, and one of the phrases that they said all the time was small hinges swing big doors, which means those little small incremental steps that you take, those micro movements that you take every day, create something huge, provided you are going with inspired action and not just busyness, right? Because sometimes we are just busy, busy, busy because we're trying to avoid the thing that feels uncomfortable. And so we get busy with the things that don't matter. But you got this. Success isn't luck. It's you being open to change and brave enough to take inspired action. So how are you feeling about that over on Instagram? I can't see your picture, so I'm not really sure who that is. And those that are watching on Facebook, definitely pop in if you would like. All right, so now let me see if this will all show up. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so now our journal prompt. Where have you been waiting for luck to strike? Where have you been waiting for your ship to come in? For somebody to come over and say, hey, here you go. Where have you been waiting for that? What inspired action could you take today that aligns with the version of success you're calling in? Because that's what we're doing all the time. When we are clear on what we want and we've set an intention and we start taking inspired action, we're calling in. We are a magnet at that point. We are attracting all the things that'll help us get that. But we also, as we're attracting that, we have to be open to see it. Because a lot of times we have this little fear in the back of our heads that say, ooh, I don't know that I really think I want that, but it could be uncomfortable. Maybe, I mean, have you ever, I know I have before, been wanting to get a new client, right? And this has happened to me, especially in the beginning, a lot, where I felt uncomfortable having those conversations where I had to say how much things were, right? And I just felt weird about it. And so I would get ready for the call and almost wish that they wouldn't show, because then I was going to have to do something that was uncomfortable. But each time they showed and I really, really was uncomfortable and I flubbed it up and I messed it up and it was like horrible. Some people bought, some people didn't. Some people invested, some people didn't. But what happened was over time, I got more comfortable in knowing that when I was having those conversations, I was helping them just in the conversation. And then if they wanted more help, that was up to them. It wasn't anything that I had to worry about. And so it's taking that action, even through fear, that gets you that success, that feeling of, I've got this. right? All right, so I'm going to go back to the affirmation. Success isn't luck. It's me being open to change and brave enough to take inspired action. I create momentum by showing up with intention. So the thing is, put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes, put it somewhere that you're going to see it today. You could put it just with success isn't luck. It's me being open to change. If you need something shorter, just make it shorter. So do with it what you can to make it feel good to you, because what these affirmations do is they help you to move. But if just saying those affirmations make you feel, that's not me, then it needs to be tweaked just a little bit. So that's, you just figure it out. You look at it and you see, what can I make? How can I make it feel like it's a possibility? Because everybody can be open to change, right? Success isn't luck. It's me being open to change, right? And brave enough to take inspired action. And then our journal prompt. And what I always recommend is you get out your notebook, your journal, put the date, the affirmation, the journal prompt, and say it out loud. Both of them, say them out loud and give it some emotion, some feeling. Imagine it's true. How would you say this? So then I recommend that you set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. Just tap into silence in that space. Just sit, focus on your breath, listen to the sounds around you. And as your mind begins to chatter, which it will, you just, as soon as you notice it, because sometimes it'll be going, you think, I don't know how long I've been thinking all this stuff. And all you do then is you say, okay, stop, focus on your breath, and just get right back in. You don't have to go back to thinking what these questions are or anything, because your inner guidance, your God voice, your subconscious mind, it's there. It's mulling over, figuring it out, right? And you don't even have to worry about it. You just let it do its job. And then when the 10 minutes are up, you pick up your pen, your pencil, and you start writing. And you don't critique, you don't judge, you just let it flow. Because there is a connection between the wiring in your brain, your heart, and your hand. And it's like there's this connection, this energetic connection that just flows. And so your inner guidance, your subconscious mind, your God voice is just pouring out through your hand. So write down whatever shows up. And even if you start off with, I don't have a clue, I don't have a clue, I don't have a clue. It doesn't matter. Just write something, right? You're exercising that muscle that helps everything to flow. Because the first time you do it, it feels really awkward. I'll be honest with you. But over time, the ingenious ideas that will come through is amazing. So where have you been waiting for luck to strike? There may be things that you didn't even think about, that you've been sitting back and not touching, not doing anything with an idea that you had that you'd completely forgotten about because you just kind of pushed it to the side. This will help you to wake up those amazing ideas. Those ideas that have been flowing through you and you haven't been open to them. It's time. It's time. So write down everything that comes up. Just brain dump everything, no matter how silly, awkward, uncomfortable it may sound in the moment, because it's just for you. It's not for anybody else. If you write down something that seems totally bizarre, nobody else is going to know unless you tell them, okay? It is for you. It's to help you to get everything flowing, because there is gold in that inner guidance that's there. Just exercise it. And once you've done that, you've exhausted whatever's coming up. What inspired action could you take today that aligns with the version of success that you're calling in? So you can kind of look at those things and see however many that are there, what's the first one that's really, it's almost like it's highlighted or something. It's like you feel drawn to this one thing. What is that one thing that's showing up? And what inspired action could you take today for that version of success? You don't want to be doing all of them at once, because remember the laser focus. So you can come back and do another action with another one, but start with the one, getting that laser focus on that one thing. Take an inspired action, write it down, and then do it. The thing is a lot of times we know what to do. We know the thing to do. We just don't do it. And so today is your sign to do the thing, to make a move. Remember, a 1% change every day creates exponential growth. Small hinges swing big doors. Micro movements get you where you want to go. There's all these phrases, and it's all about taking that one action to start. And I'll be honest, the other day I was creating those audios that I said I was working on during our hustle and flow. And I was working on one, and it felt so good to do these actions and get it produced and get it published and start talking about it, that within 3 days, I'd already done 3. And so I'm going to be working on 4 and 5 in the next today and tomorrow. And because it's a series of 5, but prior to starting doing the laser focus and getting really in touch with what do I want? What am I wanting to give people? What am I wanting to help people do in their lives? I would have probably done one and waited a while and done another and waited a while and done, or I might have just abandoned it altogether. So there is something said for taking that inspired action actually helps you to feel good about taking the next inspired action. And then you feel good about the next inspired action. And the more open you are to all of these movements, delicious. I'm telling you, it can be life-changing. And so what I'm going to do is I will put in the description. Let me see where we are over here. All right. So I'm going to put in the description the link to the Hustle and Flow, and then I will, because that is a membership, but we are having a party. Oh, when is it? Oh, we're having a party tonight. Wait, what is today? Wait, what is today? No, today's Tuesday. No, what day is it? Doggone it. I think today's Tuesday. Okay, so it's Wednesday. Wednesday, the 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern is our next bingo party for movement and inspiration, right? So definitely join us for the bingo party. And it is going to be so much fun. So Wednesday, but I'm going to put the link in for the Hustle and Flow. And if you feel led to check it out, it's got a page that you go to and you can see what it is and you can sign up. And it's so easy, but it's almost life-changing for me. So if you're a person that you really want to have people with you, I used to do this a long time ago. There was a meetup that I was involved with that was local, and we would all get together and do this thing at a restaurant in a room. There would be a whole bunch of people, and so you would just work independently. And if you needed help, you'd raise your hand. But it's like that, but you don't have to leave your house, and you still get the same work done and the same help. So I'll put the link in the comments for you to check it out. And I will also put the link to my first video, the meditation, and check it out. See if it's something that you want to listen to. It is there for you. I'm doing that one free. Put it in there so you can grab it and listen to it and share your thoughts. I would love to know. All right. So you have an inspired day full of action and alignment. Mwah.